Now I just changed these settings. I thought we just did this.
Welcome,
Can you
welcome, everyone. We're having a
no?
little
I
challenge
can hear you.
with our audio at the
Oh, I think we're
moment.
live.
Be patient.
I think we're live. We don't know what we're doing, okay? We're not going to just go ahead and introduce ourselves. This is Q&A with Queen and April.
Q&A with Queen and April.
OMG. Yes, I didn't even know we were live. I thought I hit the button wasn't working. Look, it's just too much, April. How was your
The
weekend?
mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
I'm hearing something in my ear about the mailbox. Are you hearing that? Huh? Can you hear me? No? You can't hear me? Oh, Lord. So let's see what it says. Okay, how's that? You hear me now? I
Can you
hear
hear me?
something.
Okay. I guess this topic was just
Yes.
so juicy. The technology.
Well, we always start off with our little quote of the day. And so, since our topic is a little juicy, I guess the devil didn't want us to do it. But
I
the quote of the
I
day is,
know.
"What's meant for you will always find its way to you. You don't have to choose it." So, what's meant for you will
Mm.
always find its way to you. You don't have to chase it. That's what I wanted to start with. And of course, today's topic is about when is it a good time to date your client?
Oh my goodness.
Go ahead, April. Have you ever dated a
What?
client?
Well, listen, this one has been a very challenging one because I don't like to be what may work for some people may not work for another person. So for me,
That's with
I
any
think it's a
topic.
little, yeah, I think it's a little dangerous. Although it's not prohibited from doing that
Hmm.
as a real estate professional, uh, there's some challenges, and I don't know if those are some of those challenges are some that I'm willing to deal with.
So,
I
okay, let me set the stage.
You set the
Let me
stage.
just set the stage. You meet this guy. Let me just set the stage.
No, how about you met this guy?
I have a little delay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me set the stage. So you meet this multi gazillionaire, and he's looking to purchase a home, and dude is hot.
That's a tough one.
It's a hypothetical.
Yeah, I think it would be best. The best way to handle that would be
I've never been
to
in that
get.
position.
That's what I'm saying. I say get through the transaction first, build a relationship, and then move forward from there.
So I have a friend who has dated builders that she worked for, clients. She doesn't seem to think there's a problem with it. And the good news is she knows his financial backing. And if you're looking for, a high value man and you kind of know all his financials,
Mhm.
I mean, I personally think you shouldn't mix business with pleasure, but I also know there's a personal need for people to have relationships. And you do
Mhm.
end up in a relationship with this client for 30 to 45 days, depending on the situation. And if it's new construction, it could be a year. You start to get to
Yeah.
know them. I mean, you don't want to always seem to end up in a relationship with them, but sometimes you can't help who you love.
Well, this
I
is one of
mean,
those topics where I
again, I don't
remain
think you should mix
neutral.
the two. You should not. This is a pleasure.
Yeah. It's one where there I choose to remain neutral because some people are able to handle it,
Hmm.
some aren't. Um, it's not. It's yeah. This one was a challenge. When I thought about it, when I saw what you, I was like,
Well, I mean,
what?
any topic could be neutral. These are
Yeah.
opinions of what
Well,
people
that's what.
do, and
Right, but you were asking me about me, and so my stance is I choose to be neutral about it. Um, like yourself, I don't believe you should. I don't think it's a great idea to mix business with personal. That's just me personally. But as you
so have
said,
you
your
ever dated a
friend.
client?
Mm-mm. How about you, ma'am?
Have Have you ever dated a client?
No, the bulk of my real estate life,
Oh,
I've
me? No,
been
I've never
married.
dated a client. I've never even thought
Yeah,
about it.
right. It just
Never.
we've got too
I
many
mean, they've
different.
tried.
Yeah, we've got too many responsibilities. There's that thin line. Um, there's some cons that could come about
Yeah. What are the
with dating a
dangers?
client.
What are the dangers of? Yeah. What are some of the dangers of dating your client? Would you say?
I would say some of the dangers for me personally would I think it would possibly get in the way of negotiations, perhaps letting your emotions get involved. There may be processes to minimize risks that you might normally take, but you've let your guard down because now you've got your emotions in the mix of it. So those are some situations. This one is a challenge for me to answer and reply to it because there are times as a married woman I represented my husband, you see. And so there are emotions involved there. So it's just a matter of knowing what hat to wear when. When you're conducting the business, it's professional. And then when you're outside of the business, you put on that personal hat. But you've got to be very clear about or very attentive as to what your position is or your stance is in that moment. Right now, are we out just chilling? This is just personal. That's one hat. Is this business? Now you've got to put on that other hat. And that's how you stay safe. That's just my take on it. What are your
Well,
thoughts?
everything is your personal take, you know. Well, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
there's some companies, believe it or not, in real estate that have policies against you dating your client. Now, if your client becomes
Yes.
not your client, that's a little different, but you know it can be a conflict of interest and it can be abuse of power. And like you said, when you add emotions in there, the way you conduct business with somebody you're dating versus somebody you're not can be a little bit different. You're probably not going to be as objective, I should say, and it
Mm-hmm.
could get in the way of a lot of things that are going on within the transaction. And if your relationship goes sideways in the transaction, that could be another problem. You could be going good, and
Exactly.
then you find out something happened, or he found out something happened, and then all this stuff hit the fan and went sour. The other is pissed off. And then
Mm-hmm.
the other thing is, if you are dating or end up in a relationship with your client, you need to disclose that. And if you don't, that becomes a concern too. You can go into realtor jail for that because everybody needs to know who the parties are and who's related to who, and it's an arm's length transaction or not. So
Exactly.
there's some things that can
Especially.
kind of like, mess things up. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. I totally
And your
agree. And
decision
then
making,
what
because
happened?
the things that you have to do in the transaction, if you're related to, is different.
That's right. Now, here's the thing, too. What happens
What were you
in
saying?
the middle? Here's another thing to think about. What happens while, if in the middle of the deal, the relationship ends and it ends badly? Like, you're still in the middle of the deal. What? Ooh, it's a lot of ifs, a lot of uncomfortability there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
was just
different. It's different if you are not. Yeah, but it's different. It's different if you meet somebody and you're with them and then you represent them versus meeting the
right,
client and then start to date the client. So
right.
those dynamics could be a little different. Either way, it can be sketchy, but it's worse if you meet some guy and you're in a transaction with him, you get ready to put him your house on sale, or you ready to find him a house, and then all of a sudden he start looking a little juicy, and you start getting involved, and he start flirting with you and liking you, and then you know what I mean? So is the squeeze worth the juice, or the juice worth the squeeze? So a lot of
Listen,
times it can be a little sticky.
a little bit too much honey. Yeah. So,
Hey,
like I
listen,
said, in the
I think temptation.
right. Well, like I said, like I suggested or I mentioned when we first started, if you're going to do that, I personally feel it would be best to get through the transaction. And then if there's some sort of relationship built after the fact, that's safer. That's my take. Somebody else may think
Yeah.
differently.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, running behind the what does it say, the cat and the mouse. Sometimes it's kind of hard. It can be tempting because temptation is one of the biggest issues with anything, any transaction you're doing, whether it's to, force somebody's name, steal somebody's money, date somebody, whatever. It can be
Mm-hmm.
a temptation type thing. And then some people
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to control their emotions, where they might have not started out that way and end up that way. This man
Right.
is very intriguing. He's powerful. He's probably the thing you've always wanted, and you don't want him to be the one to get away. Those can be the
Right.
things that can tempt you or tempt a person to go into a plausible relationship with someone who you are just supposed to be representing. And that doesn't matter if it's real estate, Walmart, the car dealership, none of those, it doesn't matter where it is. People do end up in relationships at times with individuals in different circumstances, and it doesn't have to necessarily be relationship. Is that right or is
Right.
that wrong? Like you said, this is not about judging. It's just like, when is the right
Mm-mm.
time? The question is there a right time? Should you be dating this man? Do you wait till the transaction's over? There's a lot of questions you have to ask yourself, and you have to control your emotions as a
That's
professional.
it.
It's like going to the doctor. You see a fine doctor. Are you dating the doctor? I mean, are you gonna be sick every week like the fireman? I ain't gonna lie. The fireman came here twice. That boy was cute. Now, am I gonna burn up so he can come back? And he might have been off the day that I burn up.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But
That's
I
so
mean,
funny. I
it could it could really turn ugly. I mean, there's just too much to risk at risk. Let's say, for example, you're in the middle of you start off. This is your client. You're in the middle of the transaction, and as you mentioned, some of these transactions could take months. Right? You all get into a uh, horrible argument or disagreement, and then he's the type of person that that's revengeful. I want to make sure you heard. I mean, you put yourself in a position. What if he wants to then pull out of the deal and then make up something kind of saying, well, it was you who coerced him into signing on the dotted line and blah, blah. I mean, it could just go on and on and on. It's best to just keep that line unblurred until the transaction is complete. That's my take.
and on the converse, she could be upset
Yeah.
about something that he did,
Mm-hmm.
and she can make the situation a little fuzzy too
Mm-hmm.
for him, because typically that could be the way it goes. There's a 50-50 chance. But let's say, he out here gallivant, he was with you, then he saw another agent, and then he was talking to her about getting another deal, and then you find out, and y'all supposed to be, twinkling toes
And
together, and you find out that he was trying to twinkle toes over there, and then and now and that goes sour or south, and then it just becomes a whole thing. And that's why it's probably the best that you keep things separate, at
mhm.
least until the trend. Like, this is a God honest truth, and I train agents like this.
Go
If a
ahead.
client is if a client is very communicative and they want to have tea and crumpets or they want to do social things, I ain't doing none of that till we get that check. Once
That's
that
it.
check come in, you want to have tea and crumpets, we're fine. Now in
Let's
commercial
do
real
it
estate,
then.
it could be a little different because when I'm in commercial real estate, I'm smooching a little bit differently because that
Hmm.
situation is different, but it's still not unprofessional. But in the residential side, I got 30 days. We ain't got time to play games. Let's get this thing under contract. And when we going to celebrate with the champagne, which I don't drink, at the housewarming. You know what I
Afterwards.
mean?
That's it.
Commercial deal may take
Hmm.
you a little longer. A lot of times it's about relationships sometimes and then the deal. But in residential, it's about the deal and then the
Yeah.
possible relationship because you want that referral business. So I try to let my, because I had a guy, a client of mine, and he kept trying to he was trying to take my agent out. He had
Hmm.
a old uh I think it was a Rolls Royce or whatever car he had, whatever. He was real
Okay.
flashy. You know, at one point he lived at the Westin, you know. He was always talking about let's go look at property together. We don't do that no more. You drive your car, I drive my car. He was
I
always
drive
like, let's go
mine.
out and look at the and discuss this on the water. Yeah, we're let's go meet at this place. And I'm like, bro, we're trying to get a house, not
That
a date.
right. That
What are we
part.
doing? And I was telling her she was afraid to lose him as a client because she didn't
Hmm.
want to let him feel like she didn't want to go. But at some point, you need to firmly say, listen, I am a professional and
That's
what I
it.
feel on here does not align with what I do in my practice. Now, I'm not sure about everyone else. I'm very friendly, but I'm also here
Hmm.
to do a job. And I want to keep those lines, like you say, unblurred. Now, I don't
Unblurred.
know if that's the way you're feeling it, and I'm not trying to read you wrong, but
Right.
I just want you to know I'm not comfortable. And you know what the weirdest part is? Some people don't have the words, the language, or the ability to share the way I just said it. Like, I don't want this. I don't like this. This is not what I'm here for. I got a job to
Mm.
do. And I can tell you this, if you do say that to a client, you are actually getting more respect than you would if you didn't. They respect that.
Absolutely.
They really do.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
I was.
Especially when it goes along the same, it goes along the same line as if somebody asked me to do something in a transaction,
Hmm.
and I have been asked to do things in a transaction, um, and let me give you an example. A guy was buying a house and he was doing a HUD home and he wasn't going to live in the house. And you know what I told
Mm.
him? I'm going to send you an email
Hmm.
and I need you to read the email. Yeah.
That's it.
And the email said, here's the regulation. Here's who's going to jail. Here's what happens if you do this.
That's
And the
it.
reason why I did that is because if something ever went down, they're going to take me down with them.
Hmm.
But if I have an email that he read that said, this is what's going to happen if you sign these papers as is, HUD
Hmm.
shows up, I'm not going nowhere.
That's it. And
That's it.
and that was a perfect example. And one of the things I was thinking about as you were speaking, when you were talking about taking that professional stance, when you show up like a professional, when you're not blurring the lines because you're, as a woman, your cleavage is hanging out and you're a little too touchy and and too friendly. And when you present yourself as a professional, the chances of a client feeling comfortable about hitting on you or trying to turn it into more of a personal relationship as opposed to a professional relationship becomes very thin because they understand this is how you're coming off. And our clients tend to mimic our emotions or mimic the energy that we put out. So when you show up like this is business, that's the response you get. That's just been my experience. How about you?
Yeah, I get the same thing. I feel like
Yeah.
no matter what you do, no matter what you do, you have to do things above board.
Yeah.
If you don't do anything that's in line with what you're supposed to be doing, that's when it comes back to bite you.
Mm-hmm.
If you do everything the way you're supposed to do it, above board, you won't have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Now I know some people say, "Hey, can an agent?"
It is what it is.
Yeah, and some people say, "Can an agent?" May ask, "Can an agent remain objective while and then still protect the client's best interest?" And when I think about it from the standpoint of when I represented my husband, absolutely I could. Why? Because again, which hat are you wearing? And be very clear.
Right.
That's how you stay out of trouble for the most part, or you limit the probability of you getting in trouble. But it's best to be safe. Better to be safe than sorry. And then once and then when you think about if you ruin that relationship with the client, usually when you have some agents that it's like you're my client for life. Well,
Right.
you got personally involved. At this point, you've not only lost a friend, because hopefully there was some sort of friendship established within that union, but not only have you lost a friend, you've lost potential future revenue for to be able to, when if you decided to assist that person, or when the opportunity came
Yes.
to assist that person in the future for another buy or a sell or whatever the case may be. It's just not worth the risk for me personally. It's yeah, that's my take. This was
I
a
don't
this was
I
a
don't think
juicy
anything is
one.
worth the risk in your career. It
Yes.
really is. I think a lot of people just don't think about it until they get in it. That's the problem. So you go to work, you're minding your business, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and sometimes things fall into your lap. Literally, no pun intended. So things could happen, or you fall to somebody else's lap.
There's a whole bunch of there's some falling that could possibly happen. So yeah. Yeah, you just got to be
Yeah,
careful. You just got to be careful. But when you already have those
yeah, they do. I
boundaries,
mean, you have to know what you're doing. Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
Yep, yep. Boundaries. That's what I was going to say. Just what you're saying. Boundaries. Very important.
Yeah, these
Got to have boundaries.
these are the boundaries.
But you can't, sometimes you can't, sometimes them boundaries get crossed when you have a fine, rich, juicy bro. He fine, rich,
Yeah,
and juicy.
but if you keep in the
Clay Thompson.
the main thing,
That's true.
you're
You got
going
to stay your eyes on the prize, not on the man,
you're going
on the woman, on the thing.
you're going to take care of business first. You are a mess. You are a mess. Because we had that technical difficulty in
Yeah.
the beginning, I didn't hear about how your weekend went. But I'll catch up with you offline, perhaps.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was doing stuff the bus. Yeah,
Ah.
I was doing stuff the bus this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a really big affair. We collected about 40,000 pieces, and I'll be honest with the pieces. Everybody think it's really 40,000, but it's 40,000 pencils, crayons,
Mm-hmm.
loose leaf paper. I counted all of them. So if there's 120 in a pack, I counted every loose leaf paper, everything collected.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you were busy.
I was actually tied up with that, but it's over now, and it's so funny because
Mm-hmm.
somebody stole my idea.
It's
Oh,
okay.
it's crazy. So they wanted to take the idea, and instead of just listening to what I did and how I did it, they want to do it and want me to be involved. And I'm like, I'm done. Like I just did this. I had the media out
Right.
there. We had all the news stations, all the papers. I'm like, come on now. I got stuff to do. Y'all can't
Yeah.
put me in the middle of something. And when you don't want something to fail because the kids are the recipients of it, I don't like
Correct.
nothing failing, especially if I did it. I don't want it to be
Mm-hmm.
that they did it, now they failed. I want us to all win because at the end of the whole entire thing, it's for the children. If the kids don't get
Exactly.
the school supplies and the backpacks and everything, it's like, come on, bro. So I just hate that people don't do things the right way. There's a way to do things. Hey, April, I saw you did a
Right.
campaign the other day. I was thinking about doing the same thing. Can you give me the ins and outs so I can try? Because I don't want to fail at it. And I'm going to say to you one or two things. No, that was my idea. Don't do it. Or, hey, no problem. I'm not a hater. Let me get on the bandwagon and
Right.
help you. And that's how I am. But I
Mhm.
realized that person don't need no help. They just want the name. They want to steal it. It's been a mess, but that's
Ah,
okay. It's flattery, as some people say. I just don't want the confusion in the community that it's my thing. If I just did
understood.
it and I got all the publicity, you're riding
Mhm.
the coattails, then it goes there and fails and looks like it's me. That's my concern. That's selfish. I get it, but I'm trying to
No, that's not
protect
selfish
my good
because
name.
you have to protect your brand. That's not being selfish. That's
That's
wise
it.
business sense.
That's
Yes,
it.
that's wisdom.
Well,
Absolutely.
when I was Dreamgirls, I had when I was Dreamgirls, I had to brand my name and I had to trademark it
Yes.
because I found that using it in different areas, cease and desist like 8 different people. I'm like,
Mm.
how could I have gotten this popular and people just stole it? Like it was weird. I didn't think it was that big. If when you don't know you're popular, you don't
Yeah.
even look at things like that. But obviously it was getting out. People were seeing
Yeah.
it and they were using it and it was just unfortunate. But how about your weekends? Let's talk about your weekend.
Listen, it actually went by with a blur. I don't even remember. I'm being seriously, I'm being
You weren't hanging
so
out with one of your
honest.
clients.
No, not at all. Not at all.
You didn't fall into nobody's lap.
Not at all. Not at all. You
Oh,
are a mess. You are a mess. No, it was relaxing. Okay, you so funny.
I am. That was a good one. You walked
It
into that one. I
was.
don't know. It just happened. You walked into that.
It was. It's okay because
Wow.
you walk into some of mine too. How about that? But no, it
Mm.
was. I got quite a bit done. I did. I focused on being intentional about relaxing and just pacing myself. But I can actually say I used
Uh-huh.
this weekend and to prep for this upcoming week, right? Just some of the deals that I'm involved in and engaged in. Just wanted to kind of make sure I had things tied up, any loose ends, that sort of thing. And because I actually have done that, I'm pretty free this week to kind of pace myself even more. I don't have like a full book of business intentionally. Now I'm sitting back, I'm working on marketing plans and ideas, um, finalizing things that need to be done with transactions that I have on the books. And last week was pretty much a lot of networking. So that's probably why I don't remember. It was networking. I went to several or multiple networking events. And so when the weekend came, I just had to rest. Then I just kind of used the beginning of yesterday, the earlier part of this week, which started yesterday, Sunday night, just putting the names into my CRM so that I can make contact and get out and do some future networking and collaborations and get some money, some deals on the table. So yeah, I guess I
That's
could
what we
say
gotta
this
do.
weekend was
Yeah. So
just
what
about being
about what?
strategic.
Yeah. So what about your clients? We had talked about you doing some time off or whatever, and you said you had some clients you're working with. What's going on with that? Are you still in the midst of that, or?
Yeah, so we will run. We're going to get together on Thursday. So that should clear things up for them for at least a week, as far as me having to physically be with them. And then the other transactions I have going on, they could be handled virtually. I don't have to necessarily show up, an in person thing. I may have two, but we'll see. I'll have to get back to you with it. I'm here to tell you this,
Okay.
when people say, how's business going? Business for me right now has picked up like all of a sudden. And so much so to I now have to have a team in place and I'm looking at getting an assistant uh, because I can't handle all of the volume on my own. And it just is what it is. And it's a happy place to be. I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is a good
ma'am.
place to be.
Yes,
A
ma'am.
better place to be would be not working with nobody. So I'm just trying to figure that out.
You so
Well,
funny.
time has come, and those of you, we started off. We didn't even tell people to like, subscribe,
We
nothing. It was
did.
just a whole whirlwind of trying to figure out the audio and the video. So if it's your first time visiting with us, I'm Queen, and this is.
April.
And we do appreciate you stopping in to check with us today. We really appreciate your time. And of course, if you have any questions or want to add to the conversation, please feel free to comment. They say like, share, and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
Good night.
Can you do that?
Just a tiny bit. It's okay. It's okay.
I can't hear anything. It's weird. Whereas before I heard loudly, I don't know what's going on with the audio. But thank you guys. Y'all have a wonderful evening. That's technology for you. It's Queen and